listen, she meant what she said, because your girl right here, my strength is like no other. What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl SHAKERA, and I'm back at it with another video. Hey y'all, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button before heading out, and make sure you have that post notification bell turned on so you never miss when I upload. Okay, so today your girl wants to talk to you guys, and I want to pretty much, this is like a public thank you to my mother. Of course, I always thank her, and I always tell her like how grateful I am for all the things that she taught me, and you know, for doing the best she could with what she had. But I kind of just want to publicly share with you all some really great things, foundational things that my mother taught me, that has really served me well in my life, and just it really goes into like the person that I am today. So I hope that this will be really helpful for someone, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, because Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old he shall not depart. Okay, now that is very, 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 very true. I want to say that if you have a solid foundation, then you're always going to come back to that. Okay, no matter how much you sin, or no matter how many mistakes you make in life, if you have a solid foundation and you really truly are striving to be the greatest version of yourself, then you will always remember those things. So that's what kind of brought this video to my attention. I was like, it actually came to me in a dream. So I want to share 6 really great things that I believe contributes to the person I am today, you know, on behalf of my mother. So let's get into it. And I have my phone right here because I have written them down with a couple of like bullet points to make sure I touch on the things that I really want to touch on in this video. So first things first, let's get into it. My faith. Y'all know your girl's a faith slayer. Shout out to my faith slayers out there. Okay, period. But y'all, my faith in God and just my relationship with God literally comes from my mother. Okay, this lady was a prayer warrior. You hear me? Like literally, me and my brother still crack up about this like to this day. My mama would be praying and praying and praying, like praying so long that we would be like falling asleep. We like, Lord, this lady can pray. But y'all, that was just so like, that's a great memory that we always have. And like, we know how to pray because our mother prayed for not only for us and over us, but we prayed together. And you know, that started me into being able to pray and just knowing how to talk to God. So shout out to you, girl, because whew, Lord knows you be praying forever. But I'm just so grateful for it. And then also just my walk in faith, y'all. If you've watched my docu-series, then you already know, and if you haven't, then what are you doing? Go watch it. But on my docu-series, I talked about how I got hit by a car in the 2nd grade, y'all. And when I got hit by that car and my mom came to me, she literally told me, get up and walk, like you are okay, y'all. I just got hit by a car and she's telling me to get up and walk. This lady had faith. Okay, that's crazy faith right there. But I remember that, like literally that what I want to say, that experience was so traumatic for me. But I remember those words coming out of her mouth, and I remember like, you know, being in the hospital bed and they was like saying, you know, the doctors be giving you reports, but the only report we take is from God. So my mom was like, you know, get up and walk. Like, and clearly that's where walk by faith and slate plus pray each and every day comes from, because she taught me how to walk and have faith in God, and she taught me how to pray. So those 2 things, period. And then just church, like having church. A lot of people think like you go to church and you got to go to like a building, an actual place, but y'all, church can happen in your house, it can happen in your car, it can happen at work. Church can happen anywhere. You are the church. We are the body of Christ. And y'all, we would have church at home, you know, like talk about God, pray, do all the things, praise and worship, like gospel music. My mama, like, I've been listening to gospel music since I was a baby, okay? Like, Kirk Franklin has always been my top favorite. And I just remember like all the songs, and I remember my brother's favorite gospel song since he was a baby was, and this is like when he had started walking, and we used to sing it to him, and like this is a memory I always think of, and I always send him this song like when it pops up on my Apple Music because it makes me think of just those memories we created. But the song is when we fall down, but we get up, and I think is that Donnie McClurkin? I think that's Donnie. Don't quote me, because right now I can't think. But y'all, that was my brother's song. Like, he was a baby and learning how to walk, and when he would fall, we would sing that song to him, and like, you know, that just became his favorite gospel song, and he could let you know too. Okay. But yes, like just introducing like church to us. And I remember when we lived in the projects, y'all, our apostle at the time, like he would come from his building where they had church at and come to the projects to, you know, spread the word of God and try to I don't want to say recruit people, that sounds crazy, but like, I don't know what it's called. Oh my gosh, y'all, my brain is like, I guess like prophesize to people and just, you know, send an invitation to come to a service. There we go. And he would come to the projects, and I remember like they used to have service at this little church, and if you watch the docuseries, then you know it was this little church that was in the projects, and they would have service there on like Bible study nights, like which was Wednesdays, and we would go there, and then they would send a van to pick us up to go to church. And y'all, I just remember that like so vividly. Like those are one of my like really good childhood memories. Like I love my apostle. Oh my gosh, rest in heaven. He is no longer with us and hasn't been for a while, but just those things, y'all, those were core things that really contributed to my faith. Because when anything was like going wrong, like mom was like, we're gonna pray about it, or you know, when things were going right, like she prayed, like she always was praying. Like we prayed in the mornings, we prayed at night. We learned the Lord's Prayer as children, and you know, I'm teaching my son the Lord's Prayer, and he's only 3, because I know like what that did for me and how that changed my life. So yeah. Oh, one more thing for faith, and I'm gonna get off of this topic, but because y'all know I can talk about it all day. But one more thing for faith is Awana Club. So Awana Club, y'all, Awana Club was something like Vacation Bible School, but it was like, was it year round? I forgot like how it worked, but I remember like one day during the week, in the evening times, me and my cousin, my first cousin, we would go to Awana. Like we were both enrolled there, and pretty much like it was a club where we talk about God, and we had to memorize Bible scriptures and just learn more about God. Excuse me. And that was so to my walk with Christ, because the first scripture I ever learned was John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever should believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Okay, that was the first scripture I ever memorized, and I began to like understand. And y'all, I could used to quote like all the scriptures. Like I know the books in the Bible in order, chronological order. Like that Awana Club was so important for my foundation years, because they taught us all of those things, and it was a requirement. And that brings me to just like school, y'all. That's why I was so like heavy about school and like not want to put my kids into school, because I want them to have the foundation. Like public schools do not teach you about the Bible, and I feel like all kids need to learn about the Bible. Like, what are we doing? Okay. But that's a whole nother rant for another day, so we ain't gonna go into it. The next thing was, oh my gosh, gratitude. Y'all know your girl is heavy on the gratitude. Shameless plug, go cop my gratitude journal on Amazon if you haven't already. But gratitude, y'all, let me just tell you, my mother always taught us to be grateful for the smallest things. So we learned early on to be grateful for hot water, y'all, because there were times where we didn't have hot water. Okay, I done took cold showers. I know what that feels like, and that's probably why I like taking scorching hot showers now, but we ain't gonna go into that. But just hot water, a roof over our head, y'all, like the small things that people kind of just overlook on a daily basis because we're so used to having these things and we're so entitled. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. But having food on our table and just things like that, like she taught us how to be grateful for those things. And then also, like on Christmas and stuff, like some Christmases, you know, when you go to school and people are like, what you get for Christmas? Or all your friends be like asking what you got for Christmas. And y'all, we didn't get a bunch of stuff for Christmas. Like my mama would be like, you know, choose one big thing, you know, make your list or whatever, and when I can get it, I would get it. And we didn't really have a problem with it. Like we didn't know anything different because like we had everything we needed, which is something else that I'm gonna talk about later on. But we were just grateful for truly what we had. Like we literally had all the necessities, all the things that we needed. So of course, like as kids, we wanted things and stuff like that, and my mom, she would always get it for us, like when she could. We may not have got it right then and there, but you know, she was a hard worker and she would get it for us later. So just being grateful for the small things and always showing gratitude and saying thank you, and you know, being kind to others, like definitely something foundational that my mother taught me. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is strength and great work. I'm not going to say hard work because we won't use that word over here. Great work. Strength and great work. Okay, my mom taught us that God has granted us the strength to do all things through Christ who strengthens us, which is Philippians 4:13. And y'all, listen, she meant what she said, because your girl right here, my strength is like no other. Like I knew that with my mama instilling that Bible verse in me and telling me that I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me, y'all, I literally took that and ran with it. Your girl has done it all. Like I ain't gonna say done it all, but I literally am not afraid to try anything that I'm passionate about or that I have a desire for. I've done different sports, I've had different jobs, like just using my creativity. Like I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it out, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. And that's kind of like, you know, what my mom taught us. Like she never really like forced us to do anything, which I feel like she probably should have did that in a sense for like one thing, so that we could have discipline and like stick to it, because your girl be all over the place. But nonetheless, it worked out. But like anything that my heart desired, like, and I wanted, I was gonna go for it. Like making good grades in school, y'all, I wanted that. Like obviously my mama didn't play. Like she was like A's and B's, not less. But I wanted to make straight A's. Like I could get a 99 and I was sad. Like, what? I wanted 100. Why did I get 100? And I'm gonna do better and figure out why I didn't get 100. So that's how it was. Like, girl, you do great work, you have strength, you can do anything through Christ. And that's just, you know, how your girl does what she does to this day. Like I truly believe that if God gave me a desire, that he's giving me the strength. If he puts a situation in my hands, then he's giving me the strength. And y'all know my situation that I currently am in, and you know, grieving through, like, it's very sad and it's very heartbreaking. And you know, I'm going through my grieving process, but even with this, like, I truly believe like God has given me the strength to carry this out, because it happened to me, you know, and he already knows the end from the beginning. So, in the beginning from the end. So I just really believe that, and I'm so grateful that my mom taught me that very early on, because baby, in this world you have to have strength. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a strong black woman, I can do all things by myself. No, not that mentality. Just strength in your, not just physically, but strength in your mind, emotionally. Just, you have to have strength. So grateful for that. Okay, perseverance is my next one. And y'all, I say this one because my mom showed us, and she taught us that even when things seem hard, keep pushing forward, because there is a light on the other side. She taught us that, and I truly believe that. You know, we go through different seasons, and you're going to go through the valleys before you get to your mountain, and you really just have to have perseverance. Like, y'all, all tough things don't last forever. And I'm just so grateful that she instilled that in me, because that's how I'm able to, you know, adapt to change or persevere and keep going when things don't seem to be working out. So I'm truly, truly, truly grateful for that. And she demonstrated that by pursuing her bachelor's and her master's. Even after my mom didn't graduate high school, she got her GED, but she still pursued and accomplished all of those things. I remember my high school graduation, my mom also was graduated with her master's at the time. Was it master's? I believe it was her master's. So when I graduated high school, my mom graduated with her master's, so it was kind of like a duo graduation. And that right there just showed me, like, even as a mom, like, you can still do the things. All right, y'all, sorry about that, my battery died. But yeah, she just showed me that even as a mother, you know, if God gave you a desire or you put your mind to something, then you can absolutely accomplish it despite your situation. Okay, so thank you, girl. Okay, so I got two more. Let me just touch on them. This one is really, 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 really huge, because let me just tell y'all, serving others, like, that's what my mama do, hands down. Like, y'all, growing up, she was the type of person who would literally give the clothes off her back to a person in need. Like, she just always is helping people. Like, that's just her gift. Like, she is the type of person who just wants to serve others and try to find ways to serve them, and she doesn't have a problem with serving. And she taught us that very early on, just by different things. Donating, we always donated things. Giving back, volunteering, like, we always volunteered to feed the homeless, or to volunteer at shelters, or volunteer for back to school things, anything with kids, homeless people. Like, those are my mom's, like, hearts right there. So if it has anything to do with that, like, we were always volunteering and giving back, because that's just who she was. So she taught me, you know, service very early on, in that we are here to love others and serve people. So yeah, in some ways I feel like she overdid it, but, you know, who am I to judge? You know, it's a little insider with me and my brother and her. Okay, and lastly, I want to talk about, girl, first of all, I do need to give her a public apology once I say this. But lastly, I want to talk about simplicity, okay, when it comes to meals, organization, DIYs, and just life in general. Let's start off with just life. Again, it goes back to appreciating the small things and, like, not overdoing it. Like, we were never like the family who gotta have this friend, this, like, we were never that. Like, of course we had nice things and stuff like that, but we weren't like, you know, some people overdo it, like, I gotta have this or I'm not gonna be able to function, like, type people, you know what I'm talking about. But y'all, life was simple. Like, we had the things that we need, we had very nice things, and we were happy, we were grateful. When it came to meals, girl, I am gonna give you a little apology right here because, y'all, I told my mama that, which I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Okay, I understand now. Okay, so I had told my mom, like, certain things that I don't eat anymore because, like, we ate it so much growing up. But now I get it, girl. I totally get it. So, y'all, like, chicken and rice, cube steak, vegetables and mashed potatoes or something like that, and gravy. Just like meals like that, like, I really don't eat anymore because, like, we ate it so much. But I get it, because as a mother, like, you want things to be as simple as possible throughout the week, especially, like, she was a single mom, a working mom. Like, it needed to be simple, and we needed to just be able to warm our food up and go. And I get it now, because in the Bible, first of all, it tells us that is life not more than worrying about what you're gonna eat, wear, drink, or whatever? And life is way more than that. And if we spend so much time worried about day to day what we gonna eat, and you know, we be stressing out about trivial things, it just don't matter. So I get it, because I be trying to think of the simplest ways to make sure we get all of our nutrients in and cook meals for the week, because who got time every day to be trying to cook or figure out something? So girl, I totally understand now when it comes to the meals, okay? But I still don't eat cube steak. And then simplicity, like DIYs. My girl, my mama is so creative. Like, she is the creative queen, and I get it from her, okay? When I tell you this lady can make anything, do anything, like if I give her an idea or something that I want to do, like she gonna put it together like this, and that's where I get that from. So you know, I appreciate that so much, because it has, you know, allowed me to do like DIYs in my home, or like come up with creative things and stuff like that. So love that. Let's see. Oh, and lastly, no electronics. Like, y'all, we had one TV, I think, in the house. I want to say we had one. Like, at first we had one TV, and then like I think we got a couple more. But y'all, we didn't have cable growing up. Like, my mom, I ain't gonna say the whole time growing up we didn't have cable, because I think we eventually like got it at one of our houses. But for the most part, like, we didn't have cable. We didn't watch TV. Okay, so we weren't influenced by the media. And then back then, like, social media, you know, growing up as kids, like, we didn't really have like social media until like Tagged and MySpace days. And well, I guess AIM was the first thing, like AOL dial-up. That was like the first social media. But we didn't have like all these different things influencing our behaviors and the way we think and act and all that kind of stuff. Like, we didn't watch TV. That wasn't a thing for us. Like, so I had no choice but to figure out other things to do, like to entertain myself. And that's what's wrong with kids these days. Like, they be thinking they need entertainment 24/7 and don't know how to get creative or play board games. Like, y'all, our house, we had all the board games, okay? That's how I know how to play, like, every board game. I love games. Like, I have a bunch of games in my house. Like, I'm your game queen. Like, Twister, Monopoly, Gestures, Life, Operations, that's a Monopoly, Sorry, Connect Four, Candyland, like, Trouble, like, girl, don't play. Like, board games was our thing. Like, we played games together as a family. Oh, Mancala, that was my game right there. But, oh, Bop It, y'all, that was something we used to entertain ourselves. Like, we did stuff like that. And that's really, like, you know, what I try to show my son. And, like, you don't always need entertainment. Like, there's other things that you can do. So I appreciate my mom so much for that. And that's really why I don't watch TV now. Like, it doesn't entertain me. Like, I don't understand how people are so hooked to TV like a drug. Like, and I'm grateful that she didn't allow us to watch that much TV, or TV at all, because baby, people are really whatever. But as far as cell phones, like, my mama was not like, oh, you're a cell phone person, I'm gonna buy you this phone when it come out, da, 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 da. Like, my first phone I got was when I was going to middle school. It was a Nokia, you know, the brick. It was baby blue, and I had the Hello Kitty case on it. That was my first cell phone. I was going to middle school, and I believe at the time it was prepaid. So, you know, it wasn't like I could just be on the phone all day, or on the download the apps and stuff. Like, you had Snake, the game, to play on your phone, okay? Like, you weren't doing all that on your cell phone. So I'm really just grateful for that. Like, that has really helped me to be, you know, just disciplined. Like, of course, I love my new technology and all of that stuff, but I'm not addicted to my phone, and like, I can put it down and not be bothered with it. Like, majority of the day, like, I do not have my phone on me. Like, it can stay in one room and I'm somewhere else, because it's not that serious. So I appreciate the simplicity, okay? Because y'all know, like, September is Simplify and Save September. And listen, we just get back to the simple way of living. You want to make sure you're intentional about all the things that you're doing, the things that you're feeding your mind, body, and soul. And yes, I just wanted to share those 6 things with you all, and I hope that this helps someone today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Shout out to my mama, okay, because she laid the foundation for me and my brother, okay? Like, we definitely have a strong foundation to go off on, and you know, that's why I'm solid, and that's why God is doing what he's doing in my life. And yeah, I truly believe that if you train up a child in the way that he should go, when he is old, he will not depart. All right, so that is what I'm doing with my kids over here. You know, there are definitely a lot of things that I'm incorporating into my motherhood, and some things that I'm just not incorporating. And that's another thing, like my mom taught me, and this don't have anything to do with my list, but she always said, I want y'all to be better than me, not like me. And that really stuck with me, because pretty much, like, I believe any parent should have this mindset for their children. Like, you want your children to be better than you. You don't want them to make the same mistakes that you made. Obviously, you want them to learn from your mistakes and do better. So I appreciate her just always reminding us of that, and just encouraging us to always make good choices, because y'all, when you are trying to walk out your own salvation with Christ, you have to, it's a choice at the end of the day. Like, you have to know what's right and what's wrong, and you have to choose to be dedicated to God and living his word. So I'm so grateful to my mother, the real OG, who laid the foundation for me. Look at your girl, bars. But yes, y'all, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And as always, make sure you walk by faith and slay, plus pray each and every day, because God, he will make a way. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.